Mortal Kombat is changing forever. WB is looking to actually sell potential games and divisions to prevent a total breakup. Franchises like DC and Mortal Kombat are definitely in that mix. One company in particular could potentially pick up WB games, and that could be Microsoft. Not too long ago, Microsoft was trying to get Batman, Mortal Kombat, and Suicide Squad from WB Games. If anyone could make it happen, it's definitely Xbox getting these games massively on Game Pass or just acquiring them in totality, same as what they did with Activision Blizzard. If this happens, this will be huge. That means that Mortal Kombat will regain a lot of its creativity of what made it mainstream in the first place back in the 90s, especially when it took off to the next level with Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. So this could be a huge thing. So all the ways you can look at this actually happening is pretty insane, because Mortal Kombat, as I mentioned back then in the 90s, I feel they had a lot of creativity back when they were Midway, before Midway went bankrupt and WB originally got them after the MKDC approach, and they officially had that MK 2011 run, which was MK9, which is the greatest Mortal Kombat of all time, by the way, I might add. Now we can look at all the good and the positives of it, meaning creativity. When it comes to NetherRealm and Warner Bros. Right now, I feel a lot of it is held back due to the fact that it was more or less, at least Mortal Kombat 1 was for the most part rumored and leaked to be Injustice 3. Or just in totality, just like Superhumans and everything like that. And the good thing is now that I feel is that creativity is going to come back. At the end of the day, we can possibly get like an MK9 or an MKX remaster. I think that that's going to be something really that we would want to strive for, at least in the long haul. Similar to what, and I keep saying this in multiple videos, so I will keep mentioning it because I just want to vouch for this stuff. And what the MVC series is doing right now is like the Versus series, basically, is something that I aspire in a Mortal Kombat format. Now, I know there's a lot of variations of that in Mortal Kombat when it comes to mods or just classic collections, but I really mean like a great collection that can give us maybe MK9, MKX, and also give us Ultimate MK3 in there. Maybe even MK, I don't know, even MK4, shit, man. And MK4 is not even like their best work by any means, or Deception or something. I don't know. Just giving us a classic where you could possibly have a cool netcode, and then you could also have the servers back active again where people can just bounce around these games and just play them just for fun, just for celebration, to help promote even more things, especially if you're going to start lacking marketing and promotion when you leave Warner Bros. Right? Everybody will be excited without the WB games and everything being involved, especially the division, and not really them trying to sell the IP directly. But there's going to be a lot of complications in that in the first place. It's not just some easy give and go, but some contractual obligations, of course. And then, like what I said, the IP, the name in totality. Like, Mortal Kombat is a brand at the end of the day. The only reason why it really does sell, like just sell copies and is just so everything, is because the mainstream work they put back then. Let's just be real. And to this day, kids still love Mortal Kombat, despite how gory it is, whatever. The young generation loves it. Us old heads love that game because we were around, and this game transcended fighting games for real, to try to put in a casual audience. The only person I feel that has done that in recent times is Tekken 8, where we had seen such a transcending jump where it's like, oh shit, now you've reached some mainstream audiences, and it's Tekken 8 this past year. The only thing I could ever compare that to was when Ultimate MK3 launched and how mainstream it went. It was crazy. MK1 OG was alright, right? It was different, right? We saw the actual violence of it. Then you saw MK2, where you had Reptile hidden. They had a couple of extra secrets, which they are planning to bring back in this DLC expansion of Mortal Kombat 1 anyway. So they're starting to give nods to a lot of creativity and a lot of patch notes, so you can tell something is going down in those studios. Then you had MK3, which was like, the theme and the vibe and the music was dope, but it's like we didn't really have the characters. Then you saw Ultimate MK3, and that went through the roof. Still by far the best Mortal Kombat arcade game to ever exist, and it always will be. It was the probably arcade game ever. If you talk to a lot of people that are just know their games, and you tell them if they went to an arcade what games would they see, it'll definitely be Ultimate MK3 over anything for the fact. So yeah, if we had a classic collection of that, that'd be cool. But again, without WB Games, they do lose a lot of marketing, a lot of like acknowledgement, a lot of popularity in terms of trying to gather in more. So it would be up to people like us as consumers and customers and fans and loyalists of the game. It's sometimes delusional ass fans. Let's be real here, because people put MK1 to be shown in the Olympics. Y'all are crazy for that, by the way. But if we were to have that really going down, then we can see all the love they can get. Then maybe they can give us a lot of these remasters, a lot of classics, a lot of the creativity again. And I feel that in MK1 they are scratching and clawing on that, but somebody in the suits, the upper highs, are just not allowing the creativity to be unleashed this time around. We hope for reversions or revisions and reverting to games like MK9 and MKX. MK11, if you like that game, you are high on grass, by the way. There's just no way MK11 was a great game gameplay-wise. Now, in terms of like skins and stuff, okay, cool. That do you, fam. But everything else, no shot, man. Like the gameplay and just how it felt so clunky. I didn't play that game more than a few months. MK1 is solid. I could deal with it, but it's not the greatest. MK9, MKX, peak Mortal Kombat ever, aside from Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. But yeah, not too much marketing without WB Games. But WB Games, I know they're going to be in somewhat of a limbo with that IP. I know they're going to want some dividends and interest off of that. But Microsoft really getting into that would be cool. We get the Game Pass. We get more players playing fighting games. We need more players on fighting games like Mortal Kombat. I feel Tekken is holding ground. Street Fighter is by far blowing everyone out the water right now. They are consistent. They constantly have multitudes of viewers. They constantly are like the peak of like people that enter that want to compete. Competition-wise, Street Fighter for sure stays the highest in competitive. That's not really fully mainstream because competitive is a very low percentage of people that actually get to those high-ass ranks and actually compete on tourney levels and even at that global stages. But still, Street Fighter, nonetheless, is always consistent, at least with that virtue of delivery. Then you have Tekken 8, which in my opinion has gone more mainstream this time around because it's actually far more intriguing to watch of how fast it is, and that does help out a lot. So with Mortal Kombat 1, again mentioning, they could do a lot more with getting onto Game Pass, getting more people on there, and Microsoft already did the Activision Blizzard thing, so I know they spent a lot of money on that. I'm not sure if it'll cost like even as much. I don't know. Mortal Kombat IP is very expensive because that's a brand at the end of the day. But if they do even think about getting that type of game into their rotation, and especially getting it on Game Pass, they're going to see a lot of dividends on that too. Possibly another price increase on Game Pass. But it's still something that we need for this game. More eyes on the game, more people vouching for what is good happening, and just like the procedures that are not really healthy, which is the weird ass charging like of the fatalities or skins being too expensive. Who knows, they might even have their own weird version of a fight pass pretty soon, like the way Tekken's doing it. I think the way Tekken has a right idea of what they're doing with the fight pass. Is just the actual whatever the fuck is in the fight pass is not as great in my opinion. But if they could have made something way better, kind of like the way Mortal Kombat was charging for all that stuff anyways, just charge one fee for like a battle type fight pass. I get it. At the end of the day, they need to make money. If they are going to do it, I'm just asking it be like legitimate actual stuff to get that you can really flex and show off. If not, then just use whatever's in game and unlock on invasions and stuff like that, because invasions is a snooze fest at times. Maybe help us unlock everything in invasions by just a simple like just charging us for some stuff. I don't know. Sometimes they do that like later in the seasons. I don't know exactly how I would want that to happen. There has to be a better way, though, or just a better fucking game mode, because we all know invasions, we're all going to sleep. But that also leads to the other ones, right? Like the Batman, the classic collection that was just released like on Switch and everything. That would be pretty cool. You know, the Gotham one, the Gotham games, I think that would be pretty. I mean, Suicide Squad, we all know what's going down with Suicide Squad. Everybody's fucking pissed at Suicide Squad. So I'm not even going to mention that. At most, it's just the Mortal Kombat IP. Does it go away forever? Or it would be bittersweet, because WB was the one that gave us this NetherRealm run, right? It gave us this run post Midway. If you're OG fan, you don't know about Midway. man, I really advise you to go check out all the midway stuff that Mortal Kombat did, all the insights, how they did all the recordings of it, like the inspiration for it and how they created the OG Mortal Kombats and all that stuff, man. I really recommend all that stuff. But if you don't have time, in a nutshell, just Midway went bankrupt and WB picked them up. So it would be bittersweet when they do part ways. But I just don't think that WB is handling it well, just because they're not really linked to us as a community. We need a company that's at least trying to vouch for a community. As much as people are not liking some of the Xbox stuff that Xbox is doing in recent times, at least the owner right now of Xbox, CEO of Xbox, is allowing a lot of their devs to just have fun, create, and put out products. They're doing that with Call of Duty. They're doing that with Diablo. They're doing it with Doom. They're doing it with like a lot of other games where they're just letting them. Now there has been some other stuff that's been going down where they're letting go of devs also. But the creativity is all I want to really talk about, because if your CEO is letting you be as creative as you want, and it's hard to be signed to somebody who's funding and investing in you and producing and distributing copies of your game, and you actually have total control of it. At least from what it seems from the outside looking in, and with a lot of IGN interviews with this recent Xbox gaming showcase, it shows that maybe Xbox can allow that full creativity for Mortal Kombat. So the indefinite route for Mortal Kombat to have a massive change, hence why I made this video, is definitely because the fact that WB is looking to let it go, and I think that Microsoft could at least possibly buy it, and I would hope for that. The leak showed in 2023, not too long ago, which is last year, it showed that they were in the hunt for that, but they did want it as a package similar to Activision Blizzard, like with the Spyro, the Crash, and then you also have the Diablo. Then you just have all these Activision Blizzard games going on now. They're just coming through. Rather, it's just PC exclusive type games too, right? And on PC Game Pass and things like that. So, man, I would be super excited if Mortal Kombat could really get that creativity again. It would mean the world. I feel they should, if they do end up being sold, this would be my actual, I guess my guess, my prediction. If Mortal Kombat gets sold, if Microsoft can pick them up, then Microsoft can start promoting the older games on Game Pass for all this time while they're in development for a new Mortal Kombat, or in development for at least a remaster to keep Mortal Kombat hot for a long time and to make them great money. Then they can just continuously just stay in the behind the scenes and just develop, give the lifespan of all this Mortal Kombat 1, whatever's left of it, maybe like 2 years, or depending on how long they want the span to be. In between, I don't know if they do the Injustice, if actually they get DC, if Xbox can pick up DC also as the bundle, then maybe launch an Injustice in between to hold us off for Mortal Kombat. But again, a lot of it's complex. It's very easy to say, very difficult to do. But all in all, if Mortal Kombat can get their full-blown creativity to give the community exactly what they want, because they're drip-feeding everything. And again, I give Mortal Kombat 1 props. It's a lot better since the Ermac release onward. It has been phenomenal. Before that, it was starting to get really, really dull. They're doing a lot better, right? And then they have the DLC expansion pretty soon. And the gameplay has gotten a little bit faster. There's been patch notes. They add more moves. They're adding more ambushes, cameos already. Characters get drip fed at least 3 to 4 weeks. So I'm not hating on that. I just think they just need to let the characters go. Let it get faster. Let it speed up. Let it advance. And they can't do that really. What I think WB Games is holding them back and limiting them on. So I hope that they really take a step back and be like, man, if something can happen, another realm will be excited. And not to be in a hateful way, but sometimes it's just okay to agree to disagree. So maybe they just have some limitations where they're just like, man, I want to get somewhere else where we can just be creative and we just unleash for our fans and have fun. So I'm really praying that that does happen, because I'm a huge MK fan. But damn, the way Tekken is playing right now, I hope Mortal Kombat can get to a level back to that. A lot of 50-50s, a lot of mix-ups, a lot of aggressive gameplay, just so much uniqueness and aesthetics and punishes you can feel and combos you can really execute on. And that's what we really need. I feel like Mortal Kombat is just really limited on that right now. So y'all let me know y'all's opinions, y'all's aspects, drop some comments, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.